Hi, it's Danny and Athena here. We're finally doing an update on where and what God has been doing with us. We had some prophecies in our last video where God has promised things, and we just couldn't, or I couldn't just see it because, we were in a village of 200 people, and God said He was going to bring us back into the community again. So this is what's been happening. Recently, or about a month ago, we ran into a bloke who asked us to join the local volunteer fire brigade. It's all volunteer out here because we're in the bush, and he wanted me and wanted Athena as well. So we put our, we went and joined, and we through half the training. There's more training to come. They've kitted us out, and it's been, interesting. I'm sure that the full vision is still not clear to us, but we're getting there. It's really good. Here you go.
Yeah, it was really fascinating because back on January 5th, we posted a video titled 2019 Word for Christian YouTube Creators. And in that video, we shared about how I'd had a dream and God had given a word. And in that dream, and by that word, he'd shown that he didn't, by creating an internet YouTube channel, we were expecting people to come to us instead of us going out. So, and that was the word he gave me at the end of the dream, was you were supposed to go out, not have people come to you. So, as Danny was saying, we live in a very rural area and there's just like nothing around us and we couldn't see any doors. But however, we felt, okay, God, if this is what you want, you have to open doors. We can't see them. And then we'll know also that those doors are from you. So immediately that morning, we prayed and asked God to open doors.
Yeah.
And, it was only a couple of days after that our neighbour came and asked us to join the firefighting brigade. And the really weird thing there was two weird things. One was I can understand them wanting Danny. Danny's 6'4" and built like a tank. But, I'm an older lady. But he was so insistent that I join as well. I can imagine a younger woman, but, I'll be limited. But he was so insistent upon it. So we've done that. We've already done our introductions and passed our probation and been accepted as volunteers, had our character checks done.
Yeah. And I've been to 2 fires, and
we've both been to a road crash rescue.
Yeah. Where a truck was jackknifed.
Yeah, because we're in a rural area, they use the firefighters as first responders. And it's really weird. So weird, because when I made that video about the Word for Christian YouTube Creators, the visual that I'd chosen as the background for the video was of firefighters, and I've got absolutely no idea why I chose that visual, but there you go. So that's one of the doors that have opened for us. So yeah, that's really weird. There's 2 other big doors. There's been some smaller doors that are just fun things in the community that have opened, but there's 2 other big doors that have opened. We'll talk about one of those now, and then the next video we're going to make, which we're going to post, we're going to make it immediately and post it. We'll get to that in a second. But the other door that God has opened is that he's asked me to write a book, which Danny will definitely help on. And the subject matter is on holiness and defilement, which are subjects that are rarely talked about in the church, but they are in essence what the wilderness journey is all about. So having come out of that, we can now turn around, look at that and give the information. We can write a book and give that information. So I will write the book, as I said, with Danny's help, and then it becomes God. What he does, what doors he opens, whatever, that's going to have to be with him, because we have, it's not the first book I've written. This will be the 5th book that I've written, none of which have been previously published. I did send one to a publisher, but it was rejected, and I'm glad that it did now in hindsight, because it was a novel. I've written 2 novels and 2 Christian books. One Christian book I wrote didn't get published, but it actually did open some doors up back in the past that took us just further on our journey. So, it may just be another book that will do something, or God may actually get it out there. But in light of what we're going to share in the next video, I think the book will be more poignant than that. So we'll leave that there, just to say that doors have been opening.
In essence, we've been put back in the community that we didn't think we would be back into the community. So
yeah, that's one of the things that, particularly me, I've gone from total isolation, and God is bringing me back into community to learn how to be comfortable in that place again.
Yeah.
For you, not so much, because you just retired from work, so you've been there, but it's still an interesting process for you as well. And those things are important. I did see some other videos about, so we've definitely entered a new season. That's what we're trying to say. We've entered a new season, and the doors, it's just been, I did see a couple of other prophets saying that those of us that are coming out of the wilderness and are going into a new season, that everything was going to be boom, boom, boom. It was going to be rapid, one thing after the other, and that's exactly what's been happening with us here. So, I've gone from 30 years, basically, of isolation and just ministering to God, to all of a sudden these doors opening up. So, we'll leave it there, and we'll talk about a really interesting door that's opened for us. I wanted to make it a separate video because I wanted to give it a different title, so that people who might be in need of this information can find it. So I didn't want it to get lost in this particular video. So we'll upload this and then another one real quick.
Yep. See ya.